This ToyotaCare 250 betting picks edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com, that's KUTT.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, MLB, NHL, college basketball, NASCAR, F1, and more. Sign up today using promo code RACESGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We are also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off of your first month and start making smarter bets today.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'll wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you asked me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Certainly not here to ask the stupid questions. It is, of course, the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. To Xfinity and beyond, we are talking the ToyotaCare 250 from the Richmond Raceway in not
weird. Another race sponsored by Toyota. What how foretelling, Rod.
Well, the track is pretty. Is it owned by Toyota? Because I know that we have the little Toyota
physically
thing
on the track. Yes, it will be owned by Toyota this weekend.
That is correct. And listen, before we even got in there, we've got Cody Bennett checking into the chat saying, "What's up, guys? Hope your day was good. Finally back to night racing." Yeah, thank God for that. I think we all could use that. And Cody Bennett calling a shot, talking about Gibbs 2025 champ.
2025 shit. We advised people in the Discord to go ahead. He's 22-1, I think, on, was it Superbook? 20-1 some places. I think we've seen enough this season to go ahead and get yourself invested in Mr. Gibbs for the 2024 championship, because the 2025 one might be the case, but 2024 looking all right too.
Indeed. Rye Cape, what's good, fella? Don't ask the stupid
Rye.
questions. I try not to, man. I'm telling you. I mean, my whole thing is just don't ask stupid questions. Walter's saying, "What's up?" Arturo's saying, "What's up?"
Oh, yes.
Drake talking about how's Cody going to fade Allgaier this week.
Well, Drake, not to spoil anything, but I have no fades of Allgaier. I'm not betting on him. I guess that could be the fade against him, but I'm not betting against him this week. So I will spare you from that this time. I'd like the record to reflect. That's 2 weeks in a row I'm not betting against Allgaier. So maybe true. I'll have a bet on him here soon.
Yeah, maybe you will. I don't know. Myron saying, "Hope this is an exciting race." He'll be going to it on Saturday. Oh, cool.
Right.
Homestead Truck 22. He was falling asleep. Well, hopefully he won't fall asleep on this one.
Hopefully not. I think, especially Xfinity race, man, it should be a good one. Well, maybe there's one guy who might put everyone to sleep by leading a lot of this race. We'll talk about him in a few, but I think this is going to be a good one, Rod.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, they took a week off last week, so they got to catch their collective breath and come at it for this week. So I think they're ready to go.
A week off? I think they were at COTA, weren't they?
No, they were. It was all 3 series. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wait. No, trucks are at COTA. Everybody raced last week. Trucks are off this week, Rod. Don't confuse me, all right? It's been a long day. I just realized before the show it was Wednesday, so I guess there's that. I don't need any more confusion.
What day is it today? I don't even know at this point. Like,
Remember, Rod, we made a lot of money fading SVG in this race last week.
We sure did. Listen. So I'm listening to a podcast in which they're talking about overload and losing track of what you're doing at any given moment. And I was like, are they following me around? Was this a case study? Because I'm not sure.
It's like that windshield wiper commercial where he's like realizes the radio's actually talking to him. He's like, Scott, are your windshield wipers too? So he's like, oh, I think he's talking to me.
It's how I feel every day of my life. Anyways, yes, so we are talking a shorter track, obviously, than what we were on last week. So these Xfinity guys, no same short track package that they used in Phoenix. That only counts for the Cup guys. But listen, and as you go through the list of folks in this race, Cody, and I know, we always cry for more from the books, and I feel like we should have gotten more this time. But the way,
do we need to get started on the books, Rod?
No. We'll let that be a Discord and a Twitter thing. We'll leave that for the rest of it. If you really want to know what's going on, check our Twitter, check our Discord. You'll figure out what's going on very quickly. But I will say that it's very difficult to handicap this race because there's not a lot of guys with a lot of experience on this track.
Yes, that, and I think that this odds board speaks to no Cup guys in this race, Rod. There's no regular Cup Series guys running this race this weekend, and shocker, everybody's odds are condensed and watered down, right? We talk about how having the Cup guys in the field can give us a lot of value on other weeks. We're not as much seeing that this week with the entry list that we have, and it made it a little harder to search high and low for some bets. Definitely, the Cup Series yesterday was a long episode. I had a lot of bets to talk about, Rod. I found some good ones this week, but not nearly as much. So is this maybe that is the thing. Drake saying Dash for Cash starts now. So yeah, maybe I guess this is a Dash for Cash race, which I didn't realize, which would make sense then, because you do have some Truck Series guys coming up. And then, guys like Eric Almirola, who are obviously not running in the Cup Series anymore in this race. So would make a lot of sense for this to be a Dash for Cash race.
So, and as of this morning, as I was looking through the entry list, there's a lot of to be determines in that list as well for the NASCAR series. I don't know if a lot of them got.
Those are all cars that don't really matter, though. If we're gonna be honest,
yeah, but they could throw somebody in there like.
No, they couldn't. Nobody's driving that SS green light car that we're gonna care about. Nobody's driving the Jordan Anderson car that we're gonna care about.
What if they brought another Australian motorsports guy in there? You know how everybody loves
bet on him at Richmond, right?
I'm just saying, everybody loves those guys.
Hold on, let me check the card. Okay, we don't have to talk about that this week. That's good. Entry list, by the way, while we're talking about it real quick.
Well, hang on. I gotta give a plug real quick, though. I know you're listening to us right now on this NASCAR Gambling Podcast, but there are also fantastic other shows that are out here on the SGPN, and it's home to 20 plus gambling podcasts, which are all, hold it, it's completely free. Everything's free on this damn network. You gotta love free, right? And in honor of March Madness, this week's featured show is, of course, the flagship show hosted by Ryan Real Money Kramer and Sean Stacking the Money Green, where the guys have picked every tournament game against the spread for the last 12 years. 2012 is when they started it, and I've kept going ever since then. And of course, check out the College Basketball Experience. Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick. And Ryan Moneyline Mack, my buddy on the NFL Gambling Podcast, and of course, producer Noah B, continue their unmatched coverage of college basketball betting. Subscribe today to the Sports Gambling Podcast and the College Basketball Experience, wherever you get your podcast. Arturo loves free, so do we. All right, Cody, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Entry list, my friend.
At least it was something important you cut me off for. Those are obviously great shows. We love this network. Again, if you're into other sports, which pretty good chance you probably are, a lot of shows on this network, a lot of shows that are going to be for whatever sport you like. So definitely check them out. 39 entries, Rod, 38 spots. So one person will not make the race. Probably one of those cars that we mentioned before is a TBA. But notables on the entry list, Dawson Cram's going to be in the 4. Taylor Gray, coming up from the Truck Series, is going to be, this is notable, remember this because we'll be talking about this later. He is going to be in the 19 car, one of the all-star Joe Gibbs racing cars. One of Taya was in that car last week, I believe, right? Ty Gibbs. So good car, strong car. Taylor Gray's going to be in that. Eric Almirola, continuing his part-time tour in the Xfinity Series. He'll be in the 20 car. Corey Heim is also in this race. Now, keep this in mind as well. He's in the 26 for, what is that? Sam Hunt. Who is it? Well, geez, I lost my spot. Yes, it is Sam Hunt. So keep that in mind. It's not a Joe Gibbs car, but doesn't mean we can't bet on him, because we will. Matt DiBenedetto makes a grand return, and everyone rejoices in the 38 car. Also a candidate to not make this race. That is actually an RSS car. So Ryan Sieg Racing, it's not a horrible car, so he'll probably be fine. And he's decent on this style of tracks, so he'll probably make the race. And then Bubba Pollard, also that fifth JRM car, the 88 car, coming back for this weekend. Bubba Pollard, if you don't know him, late model short track legend. Richmond, a short track, makes a lot of sense. Dale Jr. has been doing a great job of getting these guys in the spotlight. Guys like Josh Berry, look what that did, and look where he's at now, of course. And with being a part owner of the Cars Tour, helping to highlight these guys that are racing on that tour, racing in the grassroots scene. The grassroots racing means a lot to him. And so we're going to see this throughout the season, where he's got some of these guys. Bubba Pollard's not a young guy, not an up-and-coming driver. He's an established veteran, grassroots short track racer that's just been doing it a long time and is really fucking good at it. So he will be in this race in the 88 car for JRM.
Yeah, I definitely, I'll be talking about him in a little bit. Spoiler alert. So hang tight on that one. We do go to Richmond. It is, of course, 250 laps on this 0.750 mile paved track. I know this is the ToyotaCare 250. That means laps. That does not mean miles. So it's 187 and a half miles around this track. Again, this is not necessarily shaped the way most short tracks are either. So we've got a challenging track for these guys, and they're going to need all 250 of these, I think, to figure out the winner. As is last year's margin of victory, 0.298 seconds between Chandler Smith and John Hunter Nemechek. Chandler leading 83 laps of this one, John Hunter leading 11, Barry led 63. So several 10 different lead changes, only 6 cautions. The 2022 race, the average, the margin of victory here, 0.116 seconds, only 3 cautions for 24 laps. Ty Gibbs edging out John Hunter Nemechek, who was once the bridesmaid again, or actually twice the bridesmaid at this point, and came in second. 2021 margin of victory, stop me if you heard this one, 0.381 seconds between Noah Gragson and Justin Haley. So this is going to be a very close finish. We are going to be in for a very tight race. So I'm looking forward to watching this one, because this one always delivers.
Absolutely. Should be a good one. Xfinity Series always delivers, especially. Again, the racing just consistently remains good. You don't have any Cup Series ringers down on this one. Not that they've necessarily been tearing the field apart anyways, but you're not going to have that this week. It's going to be mostly all the regulars taking their shots at it. Of course, Eric Almirola in the field. But I don't know that he's going to light the world on fire, as he's not so far in this car. I like it.
I do too. You know what else I like? I like giving love to our sponsors. So let's do that. I'm going to talk about Cut. There are already Cut bets flying around in the Discord. So I'm telling you right now, I know that my ad read says, name a bet you like on Cut. Why don't you go in Discord? You'll find all of the bets that we like on Cut. It's a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US-based and available in 40 states. Peer-to-peer social betting is new, and it's a better way to bet. Bet directly against your friends or other users on not just sports, but politics, pop culture. I mean, look, if you want your favorite, what's that? I don't know what the new favorite fad is for reality shows, but whatever, if you got one, I'm sure you could probably put those up there. The Bachelor, right? Are they still doing that where they're giving roses? I don't know. I like Survivor. So maybe I should start Cut bets on Survivor. Who's going to get voted out on the next episode? Let's have some fun with that maybe. Plus, there's tons of social features. They give it the feel of a social betting network. Cut offers the lowest VIG too, which means we fully customize the odds and we create our own bets. Plus, Cut handles all the payment side of things, so you never got to chase anybody down for money ever again, which is good because I'm going to try to bolt if I lose. I tell you that right now. Social features, just kidding. I honor my bets. Include group chats, betting leaderboards, head-to-head history, user profiles, fan groups, and so much more. Like rewards, get cash back every single time you bet against your friends or other users. Download Cut today in the App Store or over at cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. How much do we love Underdog Fantasy on this show? The answer, more than I can even tell you right now in a 30-second spot. I will tell you that we use it all the time, and we're going to give you all of our favorite Underdog Fantasy plays for not just the Cup Series this week, but the Xfinity Series, because No Truck Series gives us an extra episode to play around and have some fun with the Xfinity only. So we will do exactly that. So catch our episodes on tomorrow and Friday, where we break down our favorite Underdog plays for you. What's Underdog, you're asking? Well, we use the Pick'em, right? And the Pick'em gives you the chance to pick higher than or lower than on a lot of the projected stats for sports like football, basketball, hockey, all these things. But for racing, it gives us a better than or worse than chance on the projected finishing positions. And all you got to do is take a stand, pick one side of it, and then stack all those up, watch the multiplier just go sky high. And if you find those little spicy chilies on these plays, you can win up to 100x on your entry. So simple to do, so simple to win. If you're not there yet, what are you doing? Get there. All you got to do, sign up today with promo code RACESGP and get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with our promo code RACESGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as that instant pick'em special. Must be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with the play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. All right, Cody. Well,
JDK's in the chat, Rod. He's checking in.
Buddy.
Drake Drake asking if we're sure the 11's going to make the race. I don't remember the exact formula since there's no charters, but I think they're pretty safe on owners' points to find themselves in. How good they'll do in the race, TBD. There will be some colleague hate later on in the race. Ash checking in from across the pond, 11:41 p.m. over in England. Thanks for joining us, Ash. Evening, lads. 11:41 picks for the race. Chandler Smith over Justin Allgaier. Sam Mayer over Sammy Smith. We might touch on that one in a minute. Ryan Sieg top 5. I do like those. Those are all. I will give a stamp of approval for. I promised Drake I would not fade Justin Allgaier this week, so I'm not going to completely back your Chandler Smith over Justin Allgaier bet, but I would make a similar bet if I was not putting myself in a position to not fade Justin Allgaier.
Well, I think it's a great time as any to go ahead and start that betting card. So, Cody, where are we starting for this?
Yes, I did want to go back on Cut real quick, too, and mention I noticed that over on Cut right now, Rick V92C username, also, like myself, believes in Noah Gragson, has a public bet out there right now. $5, that's it. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money over on Cut. And a lot of these ones you can if it's a $100 bet, you can parse out like $10 if you want to or whatever. You can go, if you want Ryan Preece head-to-head over Noah Gragson, go take their $5 bet. They agree with me, obviously. If you like Ryan Preece, you can send me a request. I will take the Noah Gragson side of things, Rod. To Cut. It's a fun place. That was a listener-requested cut bet this week from our buddy Gator Bait, which I enjoyed. And we've now settled that on Cut, and it will be settled on Sunday on the track. So I'm excited for that.
Let me tell you, I don't $5-10. That's fine, because that's beer money. Like, go ahead, buy me a beer.
Yeah,
that's all you're doing.
Yeah, trust me, my unit size isn't that much bigger than that. So
yeah,
it's not. I mean, don't be scared. Like, I don't have the money to get. Like, trust me, I'm just a regular working dude. I don't have the money either. So, all right, Rod, should we go make some money so we do have some money?
Yes.
I would like to start this card off, Rod, over on Caesar Sportsbook. Austin Hill. Top 5, plus 250. Will they ever learn, Rod? Will they ever fucking learn? I hope they don't. Hopefully Caesars doesn't change their mind and realize this is a bad line and take it off the board like other places do. But, dude, Austin Hill plus 250 at Caesars. I don't care what he's done here, Rod. I didn't even look up what Austin Hill's done here. I don't give a fuck. Plus 250 for top 5 for Austin Hill. If we've learned nothing about betting on the Xfinity Series, if this is your first time listening to the show, nothing's made us more money ever betting on NASCAR than Austin Hill top 5s. Plus 250. Fucking ridiculous. Bet that. Top Chevy, plus 550. again, there's almost value in this every single week for Austin Hill when it comes to Chevy. You do have Justin Allgaier, who I think you have to worry about on a week-to-week basis. Pianos do like to fall out of the sky on him, but I think he's the biggest threat to this bet. Jesse Love, again, has shown promise for sure. It's Austin Hill we're going with here, so you can't hate it. Allmendinger should have a solid day. Again, the Kaulig cars, what are the Kaulig cars? Like 5th to 10th is where I think we'll find him. I think Austin Hill's going to be better than that. I'll make a case for Sam Mayer in a minute. Those are the only guys above him. Then it's Sammy Smith, not too worried about. Bubba Pollard, Brandon Jones, Kligerman. I won't name the next person. Like, that's who you're going against on this. So Austin Hill top 5 plus 250, top Chevy plus 550. I'm not going to bore you with stats. I can tell you what he's been doing because he just fucking cashes this almost every week. So, and like Drake says, big country, the only sure thing in the Xfinity Series. It's more sure than faster than Xfinity 5G. I mean, really, it is. It's crazy. So
10G
go bet Austin Hill.
10G.
No, it's fun. They're not allowed to say 10G anymore. I don't know if you've noticed. They don't say that anymore, Rod.
Really?
I think they got in trouble with somebody because it wasn't really 10G. So I don't think we should say that since they're a nice sponsor of the series. But it's now faster than Xfinity, or they might even say it faster than Xfinity Mobile now. I don't know. But if you'll pay attention, they don't say faster than Xfinity 10G anymore.
I'm gonna have to pay
They got a little slap on the hand for that, I think.
Like, no more. It's not fast anymore. All right. So speaking of not fast anymore, I'm gonna take my next matchup, or my first matchup, and I'm gonna take Jesse Love over Sheldon Creed. The Jesse Love side of this is at minus 110. I almost feel bad because this is on a book that is kind of blacklisted for us right now at this point. But if you can find it somewhere else and take it, that's fine. Otherwise, go ahead and take this one. But Jesse Love over Sheldon Creed. Jesse Love's making that 2-car look like it was actually fast all along, and Sheldon Creed just can't get it done. I know that
like,
Cody was.
How do we not get more? How do we not get more matchups like this? Is the perfect Sheldon Creed against his old car with the young fast kid, the guy that's supposed to be in the faster car that's been disappointing. Like, what a perfect fucking matchup! This is beautiful. The one thing the books got right in Xfinity this week. Well, besides Austin Hill top 5.
Well, yeah, but that's always so. And look, so for the most part, I mean, again, this is just a matter of, I don't know what it is about Jesse Love that has, or even Sheldon Creed for that matter, that has fallen off a freaking cliff, because we're talking about the fact that, oh man, Sheldon Creed, oh shucks, it would be so fantastic if he could be, a winner, because he's always so fast and he's always coming in second, and Austin Hill is always getting the better of him. But man, this season, I know he's got 3 top 5s, but when he's like finishing second at Daytona, that's fantastic. 4th at Atlanta, that's cool. 3rd at Phoenix, but look, 26th and 32nd outside of that. Like, I know that the numbers skew more toward, yeah, he's done okay, but we always tell you got to toss super speedways out. So that 3rd place in Phoenix was probably the best thing that you could do. And then 32nd at the road course, you kind of toss that out. But 26th in Vegas was not that great either. His track record here is spotty as well. 22nd in 2022 and 6th in 2023. So it's not as if he's come out here and been gangbusters on this track in particular. So, and short tracks in general, 8 starts in the Xfinity Series, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s. Not the most convincing of statistics for Sheldon Creed, but Jesse Love, right? I mean, Jesse Love in the Truck Series. You go back and look at what he did in the Truck Series. Phoenix, he had a 4th place finish. Gateway had a 9th place finish. Those are 2 decent top 10 finishes on tracks that aren't necessarily the 1.5 miles or any sort of specialty track on this. And then, this season in general, Jesse Love has not been that bad. Obviously, 2 poles, right? You've seen him be on the pole twice. Yes, super speedway poles, I understand. But the dude knows how to get around a track, right? 1 top 5, 2 top 10s. But as opposed to Sheldon Creed, his 2 top 10s have been in the last 2 races, a 2nd at Phoenix, a 6th at Austin. So he's gearing in the right direction to me. You want to talk about what Jesse Love did in the ARCA series? I know it doesn't completely translate, but 10 wins in 20 races in that ARCA Menard series. And then when you look at the tracks that he was driving on in his short track career, he has got, as I click through all of these stupid tabs, and I just lost the one that I was looking for, but needless to say, in the ARCA Menard series, he killed it on short tracks. That dude was winning everything and then some. So, he's got a lot of short track experience, whereas Sheldon Creed has shown me that he's still spotty at best on short tracks. So give me the new driver of the 2 car over the old one. Okay, I found it. Short tracks, 22 career starts in the ARCA Menard series, 4 wins, 16 top 5s, 20 top 10s. New Coke better than old Coke. Give me Jesse Love over Sheldon Creed.
Like it. I don't have any argument. I mean, Sheldon Creed's still starting to feel a little bit like Cole Custer last year, right? Big on him coming into the season. Absolute just laid an egg going into the season. Now, that worked out okay for Custer at the end of the year, obviously, as he's a champion. But, yeah, I'm completely off the Creed bandwagon until I see something. I mean, I thought the talent was there. Maybe it's not. And the car should be there. So I don't know. I can't blame you for taking Love in this matchup. And if I had to pick a side, how can you trust Sheldon Creed at this point? So I think I would take the Love side as well, Rod. Someone you can trust in a Joe Gibbs car. So Taylor Gray, my guy from the Truck Series, is jumping up and doing an Xfinity ride. And not only is he an Xfinity ride, which weird how Corey Heim keeps getting shafted for these rides and then Taylor Gray gets into it. That's what sponsorship will do for you. But top 5 plus 225 over on Caesars. Rod, when talented people get into these JGR cars, there's a few exceptions to that rule, right? Joe Graff, not necessarily talented. Sheldon Creed, apparently not talented. But guys like Ryan Truex get into this car. Guys like Trevor Bayne get into this car. We've seen these part-time guys jump into these cars, be fucking fast, win races, compete for wins, right? Taylor Gray, top 5 in one of the fastest cars in the field, plus 225. Look, Chandler Smith, I think there's no question, should be the fastest and best driver in the field this week, his teammate. But outside of that, I mean, is there a clear-cut second? Like, maybe it's Custer, maybe it's Allgaier. Like, there's not necessarily a bunch of other really super strong people. Like you said, not a ton of people even have starts on this track. It's not the loaded Cup Series field, all these other guys. So love Taylor Gray, a top 5 plus 225 in this car that's fast. I know it's his first career Xfinity Series start, but that doesn't bother me. What he's done to open this season in the Truck Series, 3 top 4 finishes, 4 top 10 finishes in 5 races. He has been on fire. He was running part-time in the Truck Series in 2022, got a 6th place finish here. A nice solid run. I think he was 17 at that point. And he did well here in the past. He can do well. He's going to be in a fast car this weekend. There is no question about that. These JGR cars, outside of Sheldon Creed, are fast every week, Rod. And Creed should be fast too. He's just not using it right. I don't know what the deal is there. But love Taylor Gray, top 5 at plus 225. Again, in a week where there's not a lot of value on the board, it's hard to really find some stuff you like out there. This is one that was really quick to get onto my list because, I love Taylor Gray. Now you're seeing him in, I think the Tricon trucks are good, but in a general sense, not necessarily the best trucks. Like, these are the best cars. These JGR cars are the best cars, the fastest cars, even the part-time ones. You look at guys like John Hunter and Ty Gibbs get in these cars. They're obviously Cup Series guys, so I get that. But the Ryan Truexes of the world are fast. The Trevor Baynes of the world are fast in these cars. Taylor Gray is going to be fast in this car. Top 5 plus 225.
And I think it's funny because I saw Taylor Gray up there on your betting card, and I was like, oh, that's right. He's racing in this race. I almost thought we were in the Truck Series there for a second. So, and not only
racing in this race, Rod, he's in a JGR car. Like, that is the thing you have to highlight in big, bold. If he's in this race, great. I love to see it. Do I think he's top 5? Nah. But he's in this race in a JGR car, which gives it that extra. Yeah, he should be really fucking good here.
I concur. All right, so I'm going to go to another matchup. I found a couple of matchups that I actually like, and this one breaks my heart because you guys all know how much I love myself some AJ Allmendinger. He's my best friend. I write him daily, and I say, AJ, you're my best friend. But unfortunately, I can't go with you this week because I have to take Riley Herbst. And Riley Herbst, obviously, is a guy that we have talked about at length. Another almost auto bet at top 5 even though it breaks your heart more than it doesn't when he doesn't get there. And it's never really his fault that he doesn't get there. He just seems to find himself in the wrong predicament. But Riley Herbst is not the favorite to take this matchup, and it's minus 105 over AJ Allmendinger. And again, when we talk about Riley Herbst, he's one of those guys, man, on short track races. 20 career starts in the Xfinity Series, 6 top 5s, 14 top 10s. So that means only 6 times has he ever finished outside of the top 10 on a short track. Just a fantastic running on those short tracks. On this track in particular, 6 starts, 4 top 10s, 2 top 5s. Those 2 top 5s came in 2021 and 2022, both 5th place finishes. That 2023 race, listen, he led 27 laps in that race. He had started 4th. Unfortunately, he just couldn't close out the day. I think he did get caught up in a little something and ended up 23rd. But, he outside of those 23rd and the 34th place finishes at 9th, the 10th, the 5th, and a 5th on this track. Again, Riley Herbst just so consistent over the course of his career. A couple of bad races in a row for Riley Herbst, right? But we talk about it. It's really not his fault. Phoenix, he finished 24th after starting 4th. And then at Coda, I mean, that's a road course race. It's apples to like mangoes. It's not even close. So I'm not even going to put that in mind. But, 6th at Daytona, 5th at Las Vegas. Again, another solid top 5 finish in Las Vegas, which is what we're really counting for that one as well for Riley Herbst. So, yeah. And then for AJ on this track, a 14th, an 18th, and a 4th. So, now granted, in 2021, AJ did lead 39 laps of this one, and he started 8th, but didn't manage to cross the finish line in that same position. A good solid 4th place finish, but this is not the same AJ Allmendinger.
This is not the same Colleague Motorsports.
No,
either.
it is not.
Hashtag trophy hunting with Ty Dillon.
Yeah, right. This season alone, right? 5 starts in the series, right? In an average finish of 11.4, a 10th at Daytona, a 13th at Atlanta, 6th at Las Vegas, cool, but 18th at Phoenix and 10th at Austin, 10th at a road course race that he should have been better than he was. But yeah, I'm just saying, I really do love Riley Herbst, obviously, and this week I have to love him more than my favorite driver, AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah, Drake checking in, still pissed at Burns about last year. I believe Riley was in 5th place, cashing a massive top 5 bet for us with, I want to say it was like 10 laps to go. It was very close to the end, and Jones just absolutely fucking destroyed him and pissed me off. Kyle Armstrong, our dirt friend, checking in. Sheldon Creed outright. I don't know if he just started listening, but we've been shitting all over Sheldon Creed, so he did not make our outright card this week, as has the chat. Creed is garbage. SC says, JDK said all you needed to say was Creed sucks and love doesn't. Yeah, not much love for Creed, as he has burned us early in the season so far.
But take that hill. Not hill. That hill.
Well, take Hill too.
Take Hill, but take that hill. That's fine. I want to see you defend it, and that's all right. So, all right, let's get to some more bets. But first, let's tell you about Hall of Fame bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NBA season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NBA and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay ID into Hall of Fame Bet's revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark. Join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off of your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Easy for me to say. Where are we going next, Cody?
All right, Rod, next up for me. I don't bet enough on JRM cars, so going to bet on a JRM car, Rod. But I'm not just going to bet on a JRM car. I'm going to bet on a JRM car to beat another JRM car, because that's how I roll. Give me Sam Mayer over Sammy Smith, minus 120 over on Caesars. Look, this is super easy to me. I understand that Sam Mayer has had a horrible start to the season, but not a horrible start like Sheldon Creed has, where he's just sucked in a fast car. A horrible start like gets 5 laps into the race and gets taken out in multiple races and just hasn't had an actual shot to go race yet. Look, we saw Sam Mayer come on at the end of the season last year, be extremely fast, be extremely good. We know that there's a lot of talent in there. I know it's been a rough start. He did get 9th place at COTA last week, which I had him as an outright, and I thought he should have done a little better, and he wasn't necessarily competing for the win. But hey, a 9th place for the season they've had, it's a good place to pick up on. He has finished good here in the past, 3rd place in 2022. And if you go back to last season, he beat Sammy Smith head-to-head at Phoenix in the fall and at Richmond last year. A couple of, obviously Richmond comparable because it's the same track. Phoenix also similar. That's all I have for you for numbers, but this is more of a, you put these two drivers next to each other in the same exact equipment because they are, and it's not even close for me. I used to be a big Sammy Smith believer. He's coming up through the Toyota pipeline, gets in the JGR cars. Rod, much like Sheldon Creed, kind of sucked in the JGR cars the majority of the time. I kept trying to bet him, and I kept making an argument for his number, and he kept letting me down and kept sucking. And he was fast in this race last year. I think he ended up getting trapped lap down for a while, but it doesn't matter. He's not been performing to the level he should. Then he takes a step down in equipment. Sorry, JGR to JRM is a step down. It's not a big step, but it's a step down. And he's not done a ton over there either. I know it's been rough for Mayer, and that's why these guys are matched up, which means take advantage of it, because Sam Mayer is the type of guy, and I'm going to have another bet on him here in a few minutes, but type of guy who could come out, just smoke everybody and win this race. Sammy Smith not going to come out, smoke everybody, and just win this race. If that happens, I will be extremely shocked, and I will issue an apology to Sammy Smith next week, but I'm not too worried about that, Rod. Give me Sam Mayer over Sammy Smith, -120.
Yeah, I hate it too, because again, Sammy Smith should have come in and been good. I don't understand, and it's head scratching because we had so much on him last year. And I know, like you said, it's the step from JGR to JRM, but to me, it's like, it's just so frustrating because that he could be good, and for whatever reason, it's not materializing. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter. This could be 15th and 16th. This could be, whatever. It's Sam Mayer gets a top 10 and Sammy Smith gets 12th. That still cashes this bet. So absolutely agree with you on that one.
JDK asking about, would you take Hill over Mayer? A group bet on a certain book has Hill, Mayer, Taylor Gray, and Sammy Smith. I think that same one. Oh, wait, that was. What am I looking at here? I don't know. I have a different one on this book that you're looking at that I like better than this one. So I'll answer that in that question in a minute.
Yeah, that's actually a tough group. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you like Hill, but Mayer I think has a lot of upside. Gray has the upside. I'm not so much worried about Sammy Smith, like I just said, but I think that's a tough one. And Ash says, "Don't worry, I won't be apologizing to Sammy Smith." That's why I said that, because I'm not worried about him having to apologize either. Ash is all over Sam Mayer in this race.
All right.
John Hunter not in this race, Mark. No Cup, guys. It's a Dash for Cash race.
Yeah, no. All right. So I'm going to throw a dart. And I wish that this number was better, but I still feel like it's worth it. I don't know. It's a fun way to get in on a guy that's in good equipment, and making his first Xfinity Series start is Bubba Pollard in the 88 JRM car. And really, that's why, I'm not, if you notice, I'm not on JRM very heavy this week. I
finally talked Rod off the ledge.
I swear to God, I just, I looked, Mark Cobb asking JHN in this race. No. And that is pretty much why.
That's what I just said, Rod.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at Bubba Pollard with glossy eyes. Anyways, so no, I'm definitely taking Bubba Pollard top 5. It's at +250. Like I said, I really wish this number was better, but I will still take a stab at this one. Bubba Pollard's in that 88, and we know that that's the car that Dale Earnhardt jumps in when he jumps down into the series. More often than not, he'll take that 88 car and he'll run it. No Xfinity starts for Bubba, but he has experience in the ARCA Menards series. 5 races over the course of 3 years in the ARCA Menards. He's more of a late model tour guy for the most part. He's got 20 starts over 6 years in the late model, but he has 15 top 10s, 15 top 5s, and 9 wins in 20 races with that late model tour. So the dude gets in cars and drives them fast. So to me, that means that I think he can play with these guys up in this series and kind of make some noise. Like you said, Cody, he's definitely not a young buck. He was born March 16th of 1987. He actually won on his birthday as well just recently. So his most recent win came on his birthday.
His birthday is right in the middle of our birthdays, Rod. You're the 15th. I'm the 17th. Look at that. We need to get Bubba Pollard on next year. Have a big old birthday party.
Yeah, we do that. Let's do that. Let's have Bubba Pollard and enjoy our birthday. We can all have cut bet beers, and enjoy the day. But yeah, again, he's not a young guy, so he definitely has racing experience, and he can, probably adjust to this. And he's not in bad equipment. So if we're talking about good drivers in decent equipment with a shot at a top 5, I think 2.5 to 1 is a good little fun dart to throw at Bubba Pollard. And hell, you'll be rooting for Bubba Pollard, which is something you didn't think you were going to be doing at the beginning of this week.
No, Nick Fortune checking in saying good evening. Good evening, Nick. I saw your text message. I'll get back to you eventually. Don't worry. Drake also saying his matchup with Brandon Jones on Superbook is interesting. It is. Yeah. I wanted to be in on Bubba Pollard this week, Rod, and he's one of the first guys I went to look at, and I was highly disappointed. The number's just not big enough for me. I think he can do it, yes. A lot of other guys in this range I like more, though, so that's why I left it off. But I could see why. I mean, really, he's one of the first guys I was like, okay, let's go see what his numbers are, because if they are sleeping, and unfortunately they weren't, he was a guy I was definitely going to be on, because he's a short track legend. He's great at those. In the 88 car, we know it's going to be a strong car, so yeah, unfortunately, I don't love the number, but I'm not going to argue against him finishing top 5 either.
It's telling though that he is the same number as Austin Hill as a top 5. That's pretty.
That's stupid, actually. But
it is, because Austin Hill should be way shorter. Than
yes, don't tell them that, because they'll cancel your bet and make you pay the money back, which is stupid. But just kidding. Caesars doesn't do that. That's only bet 365. Rod, Group C over on Caesars. Austin Hill, baby. We're getting back. We're all over Austin. Look, there's just a lot of Austin Hill value. Surprise, Austin Hill value, right? That's just about every week. But I like him over here to win Group C. I know that JDK had asked about him in a different group on 365. I know he can't get Caesars, but if you do have access to Caesars, I like this Group C plus 210. He's going against Sammy Smith. I already talked about him. Going against Bubba Pollard. Again, he just made the case for him, but I'm going to take Austin Hill over Bubba Pollard. And then Taylor Gray's the other one in this. Now, I made the case for Taylor to finish top 5, and I think he could be fast. I think he's the biggest threat to Austin Hill in this. But again, you got the experience of Hill. Hill finds his way to the end of these races. So I trust enough to take him. So give me Austin Hill, again, plus 210 over on Caesars. Stop me if you've heard this before, Rod, but going to be pretty heavily invested in Austin Hill again this week. And it's been a pretty profitable strategy in the past.
It most certainly has, and it will continue to be into the future. So, yeah, I mean, can't argue with you on that one. All right, so Cody, let's see. I'm going to go on another dart hunting trip. And again, these numbers are not the great.
Yeah, you have such small darts, Rod.
I do have small darts, but I don't want to. I mean, it's the Xfinity Series, right? We can't throw huge darts because those darts don't normally cash out very often.
You don't think Josh Williams is going to get a top 5?
If I did, you'd need a new co-host.
I bet his numbers
there's no way
good for as bad as he's been this year.
That's what I'm saying. You'd need a new co-host, because there's no way you would let me keep hosting this show if I
he is 18-1 for a top 5. I guess they do have that priced right, but I still wouldn't take it.
I'm not taking that, but I will take Eric Almirola, top Toyota, at plus 275. I actually like this number quite a bit. Has he done it yet this season? No. But he's been on Las Vegas. He was a 12th place finisher in Las Vegas, crashed out of Phoenix. So it's been a couple of rough runs for him as an Xfinity driver, but he is in this Gibbs equipment, right? And Gibbs equipment won in Las Vegas this season. So, that 20 car ended up winning, and John Hunter Nemechek not in that race anymore, or not in this race anymore. And really, Eric Almirola was the third best Toyota behind Nemechek and behind Chandler Smith. So it wasn't as if he was too far off of the pace. And really, honestly, he was 12th place. Eric Almirola was at at Las Vegas, and still finished as the third best Toyota. Where John Hunter and Chandler finished first and third. So something happens to Chandler like it did a couple of weeks ago, and Eric Almirola is tooling around in there. I mean, granted, he is in that 19 car, and we know that 19 car is ridiculously, the 20 car, and we know that 20 car, like I said, won in Phoenix. So does the car have the speed to do it? Dale, you bet your ass it does. Does the driver have it? I don't know, but I'm sure we're about to find out. Eric Almirola did win that Xfinity race in Sonoma, so he's capable of winning in the Xfinity Series. So I'm not sure why we've got a sad face on our Mark Cobb giving us a sad
I know,
face.
Mark. What's up with the sad face reaction? Jeez,
I don't know. Maybe we jumped on his favorite driver. Sorry. But again,
we told him John Hunter Nemechek wasn't in the race. We didn't tell him he couldn't be in the race. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm sure
that's
that
what
was
it
an
was.
accident.
But anyways, for me, like I said, I think Eric Almirola has probably got a decent shot at doing this. And look, on this track as an Xfinity driver, okay, you look at what he's done. He had a couple of bad finishes in his first couple of seasons in 2006, 32nd, 18th, but an 11th driving the 7 car for Junior Motorsports, and then a 7th driving the 88 for Junior Motorsports, and then a 15th driving that Smithfield car in 2015. So it's been a while since he's been on this track, but again, I think maybe his part-time status will give him a little bit of an opportunity to breathe some. That 20 car's fast. He should be fast. I think he could be the top Toyota at the end of this race.
Yeah, and I referenced his numbers in the Cup Series the last couple of races here when I was talking about Gregson and in that car specifically. And Eric Almirola has been good here. He's always been good on short flat tracks. I mean, he's the king of short flat tracks from the past. Christopher Bell's kind of taken that crown from him now, but I wanted to bet on Almirola. I couldn't find a way to do it this week. He disappointed me so much at Phoenix that I know he ended up wrecked out, but he wasn't impressive before that. I want to see Eric Almirola succeed in this car. And really, again, when you take the Toyota group in this, there's only 5 Toyotas in this race. So he's only got to beat 4 guys. Chandler Smith, of course, is minus 120 in the group. He's the favorite. But if Chandler Smith has an issue or something, Eric Almirola is the next guy up. Then it's Sheldon Creed. Well, we ain't fucking worried about him. We've already talked about that, right? Taylor Gray, who's got upside, but Eric Almirola should be better. And then Corey Heim, who, again, has upside, but he's in the Sam Hunt car. It's definitely shouldn't be as fast by any means. So it's not a bad bet at all. I mean, we'll talk about Chandler here in a minute, and I think that this is his race to lose. But if he does lose the race, Rod, which we've seen from the favorites time and time again, Almirola could definitely be there. I think at 3-1, it's priced appropriately and is a good bet. Another one that I think is a good bet, this is for our buddy JDK over there on the book that likes to not give you the bets you place.
Wait. Is it this book right here?
Yes, that book, it ends in a 365. Maybe that's the problem, Rod. They didn't realize it was a leap year. They didn't want to give you their service all 366 days of the year. They took yesterday off. I guess we found the problem. So, anyways, I'm going to take Riley Herbst to win Group B over there. He's matched up with Jesse Love, AJ Allmendinger, and Sheldon Creed. Look, Sheldon Creed, we've already made our point against him, right? We're just not in on him. AJ Allmendinger, you mentioned him earlier against Riley Herbst already in a head-to-head, so you furthered my case there. Again, AJ should be good, right? He's probably going to be around 10th place, 8th, 7th maybe, but I think Herbst is going to be better. Jesse Love, again, we don't have enough to know how good he's going to be. I trust Herbst. I trust the SHR car more than the 2 RCR cars specifically. Again, maybe that's been the problem with the driver that was in there the past couple of years, as we're maybe starting to see now. But go back and you look at Riley Herbst last season, Rod, 4th place at Phoenix, 4th place at Martinsville. You go back to 2022, he was 3rd at Martinsville, 7th at Phoenix, had a 5th place finish here. You go back to 2021, had a 5th place finish here, Rod. You go back to last season, as I mentioned before, was running in 5th place before Brandon Jones decided to dump him and take out our good bet. Bob Bacchus also shared a stat today. Shout out to Bob. This Xfinity stat interested me. Of the 744 laps run this year, laps spent in the top 5, Riley Herbst leads the league at 487. Pretty solid, Rod. He's hanging out in the top 5 all day. He's hanging out up front. Love to see that from Riley Herbst. So give me Riley Herbst to win Group B on the blacklisted book, plus 275 over Jesse Love, AJ Allmendinger, and Sheldon Creed.
And I love it because this could be, Riley Herbst gets that top 5 finish. He gets a 4th place finish, and then Jesse Love finishes in 6th, and Sheldon Creed finishes in how many cars are there in this field?
38.
He finishes 39th, and we're good to go. So I like this bet for sure. And I hate dumping on Creed because we loved him so much. Yes, we wanted to rock him to sleep last season, but This season,
I wanted to coming into this season, Rod.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you were pretty big on Creed this season.
Don't remind me of the cut bet that I have that's over 2.5 wins. Not feeling so good about that anymore.
I will not cut that out and use it for you later on. All right, this one's going to be very simple and straight to the point, right? I've got
Austin
Chevy
Hill
as
top 5? Oh.
Yes, that's all right, everybody. That's a great show. Austin Hill top 5.
You learned nothing else today.
Take all your mortgage, put it on that, and we'll see you guys next time. No, this is almost as big as this one, and that's Chevy as the winning manufacturer. I know it's at minus 105. I hear you. It's a kind of a rough thing to swallow a minus money bet, especially on a winning manufacturer. But let me tell you this: in the last 5 races, Chevy has won the last 4 here at Richmond. Just open and shut case right now. Ty Gibbs was the only Toyota sneaking there over the last. And look, and I'm going to only go back to about 2020 because the modern era of Xfinity continues to change each and every season. Like there's no the last Christopher Bell was the last Toyota to win before Allgaier ripped off 2 in a row. Gragson won one. Ty Gibbs got one in there, and then Chandler Smith in his Chevy in that 8 car won last season. And I know Cody will touch on that, but 4 out of the last 5 races in the Xfinity Series, that is an eternity. Like there is, the turnover alone makes it to where that almost feels like impossible because the guys that end up driving these different manufacturers, like Ty Gibbs, like John Hunter, right? John Hunter, I said he's been second more than he was first, obviously, in this race, more than he was third, more than he was any other position. John Hunter was biting at chomping at the bit, couldn't cross the finish line and beat a Chevy. So, one in particular has a stranglehold on this track. I will talk about him in a second. However, Chevy's just done it, and they've done it 4 out of the last 5 times. How can you're not paying a whole lot of juice for this. And I think there's plenty of Chevys that have the possibility of doing this. And, to me, if you've done it 4 out of the 5 times, if somebody winds up to hit you and they hit you 4 times, are you going to not duck the 5th time? No, you're going to go ahead and duck that time as well.
It depends, Rod. Is the 5th time a Toyota that Chandler Smith is driving? Because then I wouldn't duck.
Hey, and just for reference too, when you look at the entry list on this one, Chevys outnumber both manufacturers.
There's 38 cars in this race. Like what? 32 of them are Chevy. I mean, it really. That is the big. Obviously, I love Toyota, and actually, 2 of my outrights are Chevys, anyways. But like Chevy, while it's the biggest entry of any manufacturer in all 3 series, in Xfinity, like you really have 2 Fords that are capable of winning in Custer and Herbst. Like Ryan Sieg, Matt DiBenedetto. Sorry, but those guys aren't going to win, right? You go over to Toyota, you've got Chandler Smith, you've got Eric Almirola. Are any of the other Toyotas this week going to win? Probably not, Rod. So you get the rest of every fucking buddy else in the field to cover this bet. So, really, as much as I love Toyota, as much as I'm on Chandler Smith this week, I can't argue against it because you're getting a lot of coverage. All the JRM cars are covered. You get the 2 RCR cars. Just in case AJ Allmendinger ends up with a rocket ship, you get him. I mean, you're covered in a lot of different areas.
Indeed. And just make it work for you. That's all I ask. You can throw something on this, a few shekels, as the kids say, and enjoy it later. So
it's a nice hedge to the mortgage bet on Chandler Smith to win, Rod, which is my first outright winner. Chandler Smith plus 325. Look, again, I don't always love taking the favorites, but this is one you have got to take. Well, I mean, what have we seen so far, Rod? Let's go back to that Bob Pockris stat. I stopped after I read Riley Herbst at 487. Chandler Smith next on the list, 427. He has been up front. He has been a rocket. We expected it to be the Smith and Creed show. Creed didn't get the memo. It's been the Smith show so far. I mean, John Hunter's been there and battling with him when he's been in the Gibbs cars as well. But now you don't have anybody in this race. It is Chandler Smith out there by himself to do his thing. Unless there is a wreck or I would be highly, highly surprised to see Chandler Smith just be the second best car in the day and finish in second. Something else has to happen for Chandler Smith to not win this race, in my opinion. Rod, you go back to Phoenix a couple weeks ago. Again, a somewhat comparable track. Led 88 laps, wins the race. You go back to Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. I know that it's not comparable, but to the fact of he led 78 laps there, finishes in 3rd place. You go back to last season, Rod. He was in a fucking colleague car and he led 83 laps here and won. What more do you need from the guy? In a colleague car, now you put him in a Joe Gibbs Toyota that's been a rocket ship already this season. Like, there's almost no reason he shouldn't lead every single lap in this race. Second place in New Hampshire last year. Again, another short, flat track if you want to look at that direction. 2022 in the Truck Series, 176 laps he led and won this race, Rod. Chandler Smith is the outright bet to take this week. Plus 325. No John Hunter Nemechek. No Kyle Larson. No William Byron. This is Chandler Smith's series. Time for him to show that he should easily be the fastest car and probably the best driver out there. Again, I missed my shot on Creed, but my other shot I was calling was Chandler Smith. Invested in him to win the championship. I do have a cut bet with his win total over, which is looking like it'll balance out my Creed one. So thank God for that. But love Chandler Smith. Also going to take Sam Mayer at 16-1, Rod. Again, been a rough start to the season, but I think the Sam Mayer is a more talented driver. Again, if you want to make the case for Justin Allgaier, he's got his own problems at times, right? And he can be fast. We know that Sam Mayer is kind of that next car in the JRM stable. If you think they're the second best team, which I do, then you're getting one of the top 5 or 6 cars in this race at 16-1 and Sam Mayer. And Rod, Austin Hill at 16-1. Again, if I need to tell you why you should bet this, you've not ever paid attention. So Austin Hill at 16-1. I rest my case.
Yeah, I mean, again, all of these definitely, like you said, Chandler Smith leading the race, probably should have won. Sam Mayer, right? I agree with you on all of these. And yet I still feel myself drawn in a different direction. And I find myself wanting to go with Justin Allgaier. I mean, he's at 4.5-1 to win this race. I talked about the stranglehold that he has on this track, and I know that this season has been garbage for that 7 team, just straight garbage. It was a little bit, started out okay with an 8th place finish at Daytona. You take it at Daytona as long as you finish with your fenders and your health, right? Followed up by a 28th place finish in Atlanta, but yeah, okay, that's super speedway racing. It happens. And then a 10th place at Vegas after a 36th place start. So you're like, okay, great. I mean, that's encouraging. You got to start in the back, get all the way up to 10th, but then you crash out of Phoenix after leading 52 freaking laps because you're good. I don't even want to talk about it.
He should have won that race.
That would have been his. He should have won that race.
He should have won the race. Yes.
There's no excuse why he shouldn't have. And then I'm throwing out Austin because obviously Coda's a road course, so I don't even want to compare those. But really, Phoenix is what I'm banking this on. This is the fact that he should have won. He was fast. We saw the Justin Allgaier that we've seen before. Now we get him on a track that he's got a couple of wins. He's got 11 top 10 finishes, 5 top 5 finishes in this. He's got more starts on this track than any of these other drivers. Like, this dude far and away has the most experience on this track out of all the Xfinity.
That goes for all the tracks, Rod.
Well, that's true. 23 starts for Justin Allgaier. The next best guy in the series that's actually starting is Ryan Sieg at 17. That's how many races he's got at the Richmond Raceway. So it's just ridiculous. And then as far as short tracks in general, 73 starts on short tracks, 6 wins, 27 top 5s, 45 top 10s. Whew, man, I'm telling you, he's led 2,126 laps at these tracks. If he doesn't win this race, I will be heartbroken. He did start on the pole last year, and in this race led the first 2 laps. Was he ended up being in 9th place at the end of stage 2, 7th at the end of stage 1. I know I went backwards. But then he crashed. He got in an accident in lap 240, and wasn't able to finish this race. So who knows what he would have had for the field at the end. So give me Justin Allgaier, 4.5-1. I still think that's a respectable number for a guy that, pretty much lives and breathes this racetrack and should have won in Phoenix. And then I'll take Eric Almirola at 6-1. Again, like I said, he's in that 20 car, and really that's the only handicap that I really think is valid at all in this one. The fact that he won a race at Sonoma, he's capable of winning in cars that are lesser equipment than JGR. Well, it was a road course, yeah, but he's capable of winning on in the Xfinity Series. And like I said, that 20 car knows how to find victory lane. John Hunter Nemechek took it there a lot in the last couple of seasons. So hopefully Eric Almirola can keep up the tradition. And at 6-1, I feel like that's a pretty good stab at the guy.
Yeah. Hard to argue too much. I think Allgaier, to my Chandler Smith bet, Allgaier definitely, I think, is the biggest threat, for sure, because of the speed he showed at Phoenix. So hopefully he doesn't blow a tire and not cash your bet, Rod. Or maybe hopefully he does, I guess, depending on which side you're rooting for.
I swear to God, I'm, I don't even want to talk about it. I got PTSD from a blown tire. Who would have thought? And it wasn't even my own.
I have the good type of memories from that race, Rod.
I mean,
as Chandler Smith won for me. Whew.
I have 3 TVs to replace after that one because I tried to watch the replay on it and I got the same reaction every single time. So get out your pen and paper. We are about to go over the bets before I break my computer monitor in front of me and have to buy that as well. Cody started you out with Austin Hill, auto bet top 5 at plus 250. I said that the old 2-car driver would be slower than the new 2-car driver. So going to be Jesse Love over Sheldon Creed at minus 110. Cody gave you Hill as the top Chevy as well at plus 550. I gave you Riley Herbst over AJ Allmendinger at minus 105. Cody gave you Tay Gray as a top 5 car at plus 225. I said Bubba Pollard would be a top 5 car at plus 250. Cody gave you Sam Mayer over Sammy Smith, the battle of the Sams at minus 120. I said that Eric Almirola could find his way to be the top Toyota at plus 275. Cody said, once again, Hill is going to win Group C at plus 220. I said Chevy would be the winning manufacturer at minus 105. Cody said Riley Herbst would win Group B at plus 275, and then gave you Chandler Smith at 325, Mayer at 16-1, Hill at 16-1 to win the race. Well, I gave you Justin Allgaier at plus 450 and Eric Almirola at plus 600 to win the ToyotaCare 250. Cody, betting cards are complete. All that's left to do is watch the practice and qualifying and hopefully cash some of these tickets.
Let's do it. I'm excited. I think coming back tomorrow with Xfinity Series DFS and underdog picks. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, we are. Yes, sir.
Let's fucking go. I'm excited. This will be our first time with Xfinity getting their own DFS underdog show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Pumped for that. Until then, let's make sure you get those Austin Hill number bets in while the number's still up there. And hopefully they honor the number that they're giving.
Yeah, I let go to the Discord, go to the Twitter if you really want to follow that story. I feel like you guys will have more fun doing it that way because us trying to recap it on the show just not going to do it any justice. Yeah. So, all right, Cody. Well, then let's send everybody off to fill out these betting cards and to enjoy the rest of whatever day they're listening to this on.
Yes, follow me over on the X at Husker_Zeeb. Find all my stuff, ton of stuff for sportsgamblingpodcast.com. I got my upset picks and parlays over on sportsgamblingpodcast.com for the Sweet 16 round coming up this Thursday, tomorrow, for the basketball tournament. And then it should be this evening or tomorrow morning, Rod. Mock draft 1.0 dropping first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. Cranked that bad boy out. I threw a little shaking up in there. I'm a Patriots fan. You let me know if you like my pick at number 3 for them. We'll see what the thoughts are on that, but definitely one you're going to want to check out. And yeah, let's do it. Let's do it again tomorrow for DFS Underdog, Cup Series DFS Underdog on Friday. Let's go make some money this weekend.
Let's run it back. All right, follow
to those books, especially that one.
Follow me on X at RJ Villagomez. Link in the about everything I got going on, whether it's here, Sportsbook Review. I got WrestleMania odds that are up. I'll have WrestleMania predictions next week as well. So if you guys are wrestling fans and you want to throw some money at wrestling, I got you covered. And then, of course, I'll have my own Sportsbook Review article for the Toyota Owners 400 over there as well. And then, of course, check out the Back Road tomorrow. Seth and a special guest will have you covered for this race as well. So we'll see you guys tomorrow with Xfinity DFS and Underdog. Until then, everyone, let's go racing and let it ride.